Well, no, like we ticked a double in the third end on Ryan's, and then in the fourth end we just didn't manage mine right, and I ticked, and then we're in a situation where through what we thought was a good draw, and just the ice was normally it's a little bit of advantage playing in a game before. But I actually think it was probably a little bit of a disadvantage because the ice was completely different tonight, and unfortunately we didn't adapt quick enough. And where Brad's team did, they had a little bit of a rough start, but they adapted better, through third, fourth, fifth ends on, and we were just kind of a little bit lost.
You can take solace in the fact that Kerry Anderson won from the 3-4 game twice.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've never heard anybody win the Brier on Friday, so we're playing tomorrow. I think we can just shake this off. Short-term memory. We'll have conditions that we're a little bit more used to tomorrow afternoon, and if we get into a night game, we just have to be, mindful of what we experienced tonight. Just a little bit more bite, and we'll learn from that.
Is that easier to deal with than a last rock miss?
Sorry?
Like that. You were laughing in the last end. I think that's easier to deal with than a last rock miss in terms of debriefing and shaking it off and sleeping well tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I would have liked that draw back in the fourth end.
Fourth, yeah.
Yeah, I would have liked that draw back. In hindsight, I probably should have just played the downweight hit down the middle where we knew what the ice was. But I think this is we've had a really good run, 5 wins in a row. We're still alive. We got to feel good about that.
Got some veterans on the team. How to deal with this stuff.
Yeah, and things got out of hand. We're going to waste too much energy out there, so we'll save it all for tomorrow.
Brad, you had a look on your face when you gave up the 2 steal, like this is not going to happen tonight, and you guys just turned it up a notch.
No, I threw 4 really good rocks in the first 2 ends and got nothing out of it. It was frustrating, but I knew we were playing well. We played a great first end other than a rollout. We had a deuce set up, and then the second end just got really sloppy, and I knew that if we played like we had the last couple of games, we'd come back, played a great third end, and once we got that 3, you could just feel the momentum shift, and we played great.
Is there something to be said about composure here? Because looking at how you played against Mike and the squad on Saturday and how you played against him tonight, obviously 2 different storylines here, right? Is it kind of that, we know what we're up against now, let's maintain our composure and just stay calm with this?
I don't think it had anything to do with composure. I think we were composed last week. I think it was just not knowing the ice, the rocks, not feeling great, all that stuff that went into it. And Mike's team played better in that first game as well. Obviously, they didn't make as many shots there tonight. So a number of factors, but I don't think composure was one. I think our team, probably more than any with our experience and age, we're going to be pretty composed.
Brad, you've taken many routes to Brier Championships.
Yep.
You have a bit of a break now. You had a break today.
When do we play?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, okay, good.
And you're a win away from playing in the Brier final.
Yeah.
How is this in terms of rest and recovery, and do you like that big break and sitting around, and where are you at with your health?
Yeah, the bigger break, the better for me. Back-to-back games are a bit of a challenge. 2 game days are a bit of a challenge now. So getting the bigger rest to allow more treatment, more recovery is definitely a benefit. The positive, I guess, to this is we do get 24 hours break. But, if we happen to lose tomorrow night, it's a quick turnaround and back-to-back games then on Sunday. So just got to make sure we win tomorrow night.
Nice to have 4 players in the playoffs.
What's that?
Nice to have 4 players in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. It's nice to have Mark back. Mark made a bunch of shots there, especially once we got the lead, the doubles, and kind of get us out of any, little bit of trouble we got in. He played great and obviously key part of the team. So it's nice to have him there and nice to have everybody healthy up to this point.
Just a real tight, close to the vest game, and you can't argue with a made shot like that to win it.
Oh, absolutely. That was a great game. I thought both teams, Matt made a few beauties, and he came up with a real good one there to close it out.
Is that a tough one to shake off, or are you guys good to go for tomorrow? I'm sure you've been through enough of these games, it won't be that tough.
Yeah, in all honesty, I think we played our best 2 games of the week today. So that's a lot of good momentum, and I'm feeling good about tomorrow.
So what is the discussion tonight? What do you do to regroup? What do you take into tomorrow?
Well, you just got to focus on the game tomorrow. We played Mike once this week. It was a real close game. Those guys are playing really well. So can't take anything for granted. We're going to have to play good tomorrow.
You know how much they scored during the week? Is that the plan to kind of make it a low-scoring game?
No, I just think both teams made a lot of shots, and when you got teams making shots and no one wants to take a pile of risk, you end up with a pretty low-scoring game. And kudos to them. They made a bunch of good ones.
Can you walk us through that last shot?
Oh man, I think this team's been waiting for that moment all year. We haven't really had a moment where we, had a shot to win a game like that, and obviously a big moment. Again, the guys set up the end great. Just to have a chance at the end there, that's props to them, and what a phenomenal moment.
As 10th ends go in terms of just execution, some huge shots up and down the line, both teams. That was a great 10th end from an entertainment perspective.
Yeah, phenomenal. We've been kind of lacking the rocks in play for, a decent part of the game. A couple of blanks, there were some rocks in plays and doubles made, but that last end was fun. It's always great when it comes down to last stone.
How much have you learned from your previous playoff experiences going into this weekend?
Yeah, it's invaluable, right? Win or lose, there's something to always be learned in those situations. And, I think tonight you saw exactly what I learned a couple years ago.
How excited are you to get now 1 win away from a championship final?
Yeah, it's awesome. We've put ourselves in the best possible position to succeed up to this point. That's kind of all you can ask for. And, from here on out, it's just business as usual, keep chugging along, and, just hope we have a shot in the 10th to win it.
A word on Gushue tomorrow night.
That's, the narrative's there. The Harnden brothers get to bash it out in the 1-2 game. Pretty excited for that. We've only got to play them once this year, surprisingly. So it's going to be an interesting game, and, just can't wait to do it. Brad Gushue at the Brier, it's as good as it gets.